Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing Amelia's 2-week baby update and my 2-week postpartum update. So we're going to go ahead and do her update first because we just got back from her doctor's appointment. When she was born, she weighed 7 pounds 3 ounces and today she weighed 8 pounds and 5 ounces and that puts her in the 58th percentile. She is also 20.5 inches long and that puts her in the 67th percentile for height. So she is growing really good. She is exclusively breastfed. She is a great eater. She eats all the time and luckily I have plenty of milk, so I'm able to pump a lot. She is 2 weeks old, so she still does sleep most of the time, but she does have longer awake periods at this point. It seems like she'll stay awake from 30 minutes to an hour, like 2, maybe 3 times a day, depending on the day. And she eats every 1 to 3 hours, it seems like. So she'll go longer stretches sometimes when she's really tired, or like whenever we're sleeping at night, she goes in between 2 and 3 hours without eating. So she is doing really good all the way around. Something that she does that the other kids never did was that she will allow me to put her down when she is sleeping. So I can put her in her crib or I can put her in her rock and play thing, which I only use sometimes, and it's normally whenever I'm right there with her. I'm just needing to have my hands free. So I can put her down and she will stay asleep, or if I want to just lay her in the bed so I can change my clothes, she'll stay asleep. And the other kids never did that. As soon as I laid them down, they would wake up. So that makes things really convenient, especially with having 3 other children. Her skin is kind of peely, which I don't remember the other boys having like peely skin like this, and it's mostly just on like her hands and on her feet. But the doctor said that that's perfectly fine and normal. I just don't remember that phase with the other kids. And then I've noticed it more so today, but she does seem to be getting some baby acne, which is fine. She has pretty good head control for being 2 weeks old. She will move her neck around whenever, especially whenever she's looking to nurse, or if I do put her on her tummy, which we have done tummy time. She's doesn't really love it, but I know that the earlier you start doing tummy time with your babies, the more they'll be okay with it. Like if you wait too long, then some babies just absolutely hate tummy time. So I normally start that pretty early with my kids. So she does move her neck around pretty well. The doctor was pretty pleased about that. Her hair does still seem to be like a dirty blonde, strawberry blonde, or a brunette. We're not really sure. Sometimes it looks like it's brown, sometimes it looks like it's red, sometimes it looks really light but not quite like blonde. So we're not really quite sure what her hair color is going to be still. Her eyes are still blue, and they look like they're probably going to stay blue. We do have our 2 oldest boys do have blue eyes, and Landen has brown eyes, and his eyes seem to get pretty dark pretty quick whenever he was a baby, and her eyes are still very much blue, so they might stay blue, but we will just have to wait and see about that. She has had 2 baths and she loves being in the bath. She just looks around and likes being warm with the warm water, but she does hate getting out of the bath because I think she just gets really cold. So we wrap her up in 2 towels and then snuggle and feed, and then she's perfectly fine. One other thing that I wanted to mention with her, the doctor asked us if she has started cooing or, you know, making noises, and she does not really coo and make noises. Only the noise that she does make is the little grunting sounds. She does grunt a lot. So the only noise that she really does make is these little grunting noises. She doesn't really cry. She just grunts around if she's unhappy, or whenever she's asleep, she kind of grunts too. So that's really the only noise that she makes, and it is so cute. But that's really all I can think of to update on her. So that's really all I can think about to update on her. So now we're going to move on to how I'm doing postpartum. I feel really good. I don't feel wobbly like I did in my last update. So that is really nice, because it was honestly a little bit terrifying to walk around the house with her because I did feel so wobbly. Now I feel more set in my body, and that feels really good because I haven't felt that in a long time. I am still bleeding off and on. I'll go like a day without bleeding and then I'll bleed a little bit more, so that is still like off and on. I am producing a really good amount of milk. She is obviously satisfied, sometimes over satisfied, and that is a great sign. Plus I have been pumping and using my little Haka, however you want to say it, little silicone manual breast pump. And so I'll just attach that to one side while she eats on the other side, and it catches my letdown, and I get about 3 ounces whenever I do that. And then if I pump, I get about 5 ounces. I'll feed her and then I will pump on both sides and I'll get about 5 ounces. So I've been building up a pretty decent sized stash of breast milk, which I'm so happy that we don't have to use it. I know with Landen we had to sometimes go through and see how much milk he was drinking, so we knew how to adjust his medical formula, and we just had to introduce a bottle really soon to him, and I hated that. So luckily we don't have to do that with her. She has not had a bottle yet. I think that if I'm remembering right, I think we introduce a bottle to our babies around a month old, just so they know how to use a bottle in case I have an emergency or something happens and she just has to be able to take a bottle. It's a good thing for them to know how to do. I just don't like to introduce it to them too soon. I haven't really had any of the breakouts that I've had throughout my whole entire pregnancy. It seems like I always had at least a few breakouts, and I don't really have breakouts. I do have a lot of scars, which I will work on in time. I'm not too worried about them. And then my melasma is still very much there. It's right here that bothers me the most, just because it seems to be the darkest on my nose. And normally if I just needed to run somewhere really quick and I didn't want to look like this, I would just slap on some concealer and blend it away. But using just concealer on it doesn't cover it. It actually makes it look worse. So in order for me to cover it, I actually have to wear foundation and then put on concealer on top of it, and I just don't have time for that these days. But I'm really hoping that it at least fades, if not completely goes away. I don't know. This is my first time having melasma in pregnancy, so I don't know if it goes away or fades or how that works out. So if you have experience with melasma in pregnancy, let me know. Does it go away? Does it fade at least? Let me know down below in the comments section. And like I said when I was doing her update, she does sleep in between 2 to 4 hours at night, I would say. And so I do get pretty decent sleep, especially when my husband is off or goes in for the later shift. He will get up with the older boys and take our oldest to school and let me and her sleep in. So I'm getting a pretty decent amount of sleep. I'm not overly drained like I was the first like week and a half. I'm just now to the point where I'm starting to kind of find my energy again. So that has been great, because everything seemed to be a blur for the first week for sure. And then it's just slowly gotten better from there. Going back to the breastfeeding, I did get the really sore nipples. I think it started around like the 5th or 6th day. They started getting super sore, and we just wrote it out, and they are better now. I still have some soreness in this nipple from time to time, but this one is perfectly fine. And I do have a really fast letdown. It seems like it's way faster this time than it has been with other kids, so sometimes we struggle with that, or we make a mess, or she chokes, or whatever. But we are learning to deal with that, or how to handle that better, which has been a new experience. I haven't really been able to breastfeed a baby like this since Daniel really, because Cade was exclusively breastfed too, but he did not want to eat, so I didn't get like an oversupply because he was not interested in eating. He was very small. He just did not like to eat, which is totally his personality now. Sometimes he'll eat, but most of the time he doesn't. Like, he just grazes, so it's like little amounts here and there. So that totally matches his personality now. And then Landen, of course, I couldn't just exclusively breastfeed like this. So it's been 7 years. And so I feel like I'm having to like relearn how to handle different situations. So that has been interesting, but I am so excited that I do get to breastfeed like this again. I absolutely love breastfeeding, and this is hopefully our last baby. So I'm glad that I get to have just the full experience and experience all of the bonding that we get to do through breastfeeding. So that has been really nice. I think I mentioned in my last update, but I am back down to my pre-pregnancy weight. I'm actually like 2 pounds under my pre-pregnancy weight now. I feel like I even, as far as my stomach goes, I feel like I look about the same as I did before I got pregnant. Like I've mentioned throughout my pregnancy, I was not like skinny or fit or anything like that. I was heaviest during this pregnancy than any of my other pregnancies, and I could actually fit back into my jeans that I wore pre-pregnancy. So that's really nice. But I think that is it for this update. I was really hoping that she would wake up at some point so I could show you guys her awake. But I will go ahead and show her to you guys anyways. I love when babies stretch like that. It is so cute. Aren't you gonna wake up? Huh? Here is Miss Amelia. She's not gonna open her eyes. She's so tired. She's busy napping. Look at these cheeks. I think you can see right there how her hair does kind of look like it's going to be red. But then if you look at like that, it kind of looks dirty blonde. And then more so down here, it looks brunette. So we're not sure what her hair color is going to be. But my husband does have all of those colors in his beard. So maybe she'll just have all of the colors. So that is Miss Amelia at 2 weeks old. And now I will see if she will let me lay her down in her bed so I can show you guys what I'm looking like 2 weeks postpartum. So here is what I am looking like 2 weeks postpartum. I have a little bit of a tummy, but I did have a little bit of a tummy before I got pregnant, so that's normal. And from the front, I feel like I am starting to kind of get a little bit of curves back because I feel like I got really wide in my pregnancy. And then there's the other side. But that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel down below. If you are pregnant, trying to conceive, or just had a baby, let me know down below in the comment section. Also, if you have dealt with melasma before, let me know what happened after your pregnancy down below in the comments, because I'm super curious to see if it's going to go away or fade or what it's going to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching and for all of the love and support throughout my pregnancy. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.